Got to make sure the beard looks good, guys. This is part of the brand. What's going on, everyone? Abel here with Temecula Valley Junk Pickup. We are a dumpster rental and junk removal company based here in Southern California, specifically the Southern California wine country, the Temecula Valley. So I'm not sure how you stumbled upon us or if you've been kind of following along on our journey, but either way, welcome, and I'm super happy that you're here. This video is going to be really different. I've failed. Not failed. I think I feel like I've let YouTube down because I came into this super strong, super ambitious, and I wanted to post a ton of content. And I would say I was posting 3 to 5 times per week. And I was posting a lot of, day in the life stuff as a junk removal business owner, and specifically day in the life tasks of the junk removal business owner who is no longer in the truck, which we don't see too much of that content. You see a lot of the hands-on day in the life, but you don't see too much of the back end. And the last 3 to 4 weeks have been they've been crazy. So let me kind of give you an update, because I've recorded a ton of videos over the last few weeks, but by the time I was editing and posting them, it made no sense because everything had done a 360, 180, backflip, upside down, and everything has changed dramatically. So jumping back, side note, I did leave you guys with a really good video. If you haven't watched it, I'll put it up here. It's all about marketing. It's what we do in the junk removal space to market our company. It does not mean it's the perfect roadmap for anybody. It's what's right for us. But check it out. It's definitely helpful and beneficial to at least point you in the right direction of what you should start planning and preparing for. But backtrack a month. Give or take a month. As you may have watched, I decided that it was time for me to get off the truck again and to get over my fears and my emotions of everything that happened with an old employee and get back to being a business owner and running my business. So we put the word out and we hired a driver, and we training and we started getting everything, taken care of. And unfortunately, things did not work out with him, and he stepped away from our company. And that was a bummer because I really liked the guy. Actually, I knew him personally, but it was not the best job for him. The downside is we invested about 3 weeks of training, labor, time, effort into getting him going, and it just all went down the drain. So after that, I was like, man, maybe it's just not time, Abel. Maybe you're supposed to be in the truck. Maybe this is just what you're supposed to do. It is what it is. Get back to work. Stop trying to have this, off the truck lifestyle, or not lifestyle, but you know what I mean. And so I just got back to work. I kind of put the word out a little bit, and I was, that we were hiring, but I wasn't really pushing it until I got a call a little over 3 weeks ago. So a little over 3 weeks ago, I got a call from a friend in LA. He does junk removal, dumpster rentals, demo, the full gamut. And he has a friend who received, I wouldn't call it a contract. We thought that that's what it might turn into. But it was a deal. It was a long-term job. Yeah, we'll call it that. Just a job. The minimum they said to expect for this job to last would be 6 to 8 months. It was a hard job. I mean, I don't know what other way to put it, but anyways, so he reached out to me because his friend got this job, and he got a large territory, basically Bakersfield down to San Diego. So if you don't know the maps in Southern California or the geographic area, take a look. It is a huge area, way more than one person can handle. So my friend got the call because he was asked to take over LA County, and they needed someone to take over Riverside County and San Diego County. So he said, I got the guy for you. Call Abel. He will handle it. No problem. They called me. I absolutely took it. It was a lot of consistent work. And Yeah, I mean, well, I'll just tell you the numbers. We took 2 territories and we had the option for a third. I would not accept the third territory until I was able to get my territories caught up, and I'll explain what that means. So, um, combined the 3 territories over 6 months, we were looking at bringing in a bare minimum of $330,000. And it was gonna give us 1 week, with all 3 territories was gonna give us 4 days of work. The next week was gonna give us 3 days of work. The following week, 4 days. The following week, 3 days. And so I got the call on Saturday, and they said, "Hey, can you handle it?" Absolutely. I don't turn anything down. They said, "Great. Can you start Monday?" Absolutely. I will figure it out by then. And to kind of give you the roster of what we had our 2 main full-time employees running junk removal, and we had me, and then we have a couple on-call guys. None of the on-call guys were available. So I said, "I got it. No worries. I'm gonna do it by myself." And they were like, "Ooh, Abel, is that a good idea?" I'm like, "I can handle it. Do you know who I am? I'm a big guy. I can." They said, "It's heavy." I'm like, "I'm strong. Like, I'm good." He said, "Okay." So I went out on Monday and I started getting the job done. Now, here's a description of the job. And if you're in any of the junk removal groups, you may have seen some pictures like this starting to pop up because people are getting this job opportunity, or they were. But basically, we were removing what's called the bone barrels from Walmart, Super Walmart, Sam's Club, and Walmart Neighborhood Market. These are the Brute trash cans. So you guys know in our industry, Brute's a very high quality trash can that we use. 55-gallon trash can filled with meat. It's all the scrap meat from the butcher. It's the rotisserie chickens that didn't sell that they need to get rid of that are past their time. In our case, most of our stores haven't been serviced in 2-3+ weeks, so it wasn't the best smelling thing. Um, well, it didn't smell good. If you could picture buckets filled with chicken fingers, sausage, salmon, ground beef. I mean, I'll add a picture. And so I went out Monday and I started doing this by myself. And I've never said anything is hard. I am the type of person where my mentality is I'm going to make it happen. Doesn't matter how hard it is, I'm going to get it done. I had 9 jobs on my schedule for Monday, and I got through 7 of them. And I messaged my wife halfway through the day and I said, "This is the hardest thing I have ever done." And it was a humbling moment because I've never said that. I've always just pushed through and persevered. The only reason why I couldn't get all 9 done is because it was too late. It was past the time. So on Saturday, when I got that call, I put a post out on Facebook. "Hey, I need this many full-time positions, this many part-time positions, this many driver positions." I took this as the opportunity because this job, um, this was I don't want to say, I guess it was a short term life changing job. This gig was going to change trajectory, can't talk, trajectory of our business. It was going to take us from here to here. $330,000 is a lot of money, guys. It is a lot of money. And that was minimum. Still a little bitter. I don't know if you can tell. I'll tell you what happened. So I halfway through the day, she's like, "You need to hire people." I'm like, "You're right, you're right, you're right." And I'm being stubborn. So I had messages, and one of the messages was from someone that was actually a customer of ours. They were looking for some work. And I said, "Great." Got him on the phone. We were talking, like, "Perfect. You're hired." Like, "I'll give you an update in a couple of days on when you'll start everything, trying to get all the paperwork set up. By the end of the day, 5 o'clock rolls around. I sent him a message. "Hey, man, can you start tomorrow?" 1,000,000% okay if you can't, but can you? He's like, "Absolutely." Ugh, yes. So next day we went out, 2 of us. Still hard. still, still hard. The issue is that, we're running either a dump truck, an Isuzu dump truck, or a truck and trailer. We are not set up to do this. This job is physically exhausting and mentally exhausting. A lot of driving, especially San Diego. You're taking like 2.5 hours in traffic because we left at the wrong times. to get to our first stop. And once we got there, everything was boom, 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 all right next to each other. But it was hard, but we did it. We got through the entire week, all the way through till Friday, and we serviced every single store. Well, every single store except for the last few. Almost every single store. We got everybody caught up that week. And Friday rolls around, and we got a call saying, "Hey, they just updated us and they pulled the plug. Everything's on pause." And I'm like, "Hold on. What do you mean everything is on pause? Or everything's done?" They're like, "Yeah, they pulled the plug, and they'll give us an update, but as of right now, we're done." And I don't think we're gonna get that. I think we're done. I don't think there's any other options. And to put you in the mindset I was at when I got in this call, I was in the middle of a job with my newest employee. I had just placed the order for a $5,000 lift that was going to take our trash cans and lift them up and dump them into our trailers. I had hired 3 other people, 4 people total, 2 full-time. I was going all in because this consistent work was gonna do something really awesome for our business. It was gonna put us in a place where we can make moves and decisions and have that guaranteed income coming in every single week. And these weren't net 30s. These we were getting paid basically weekly. And so I get this call, and I'm driving around with my newest employee, and I'm like, I hired this guy specifically to do this job. He has a family and he has kids. How am I supposed to tell him just kidding? How am I supposed to tell the kid that we hired that quit his job to start with us on Monday, who also has a family? Just kidding. Job's canceled. Can't hire you anymore. Hopefully your old employer will take you back. The other 2 guys, they were more just muscle. One of them was one of our on-call guys that we're bringing full time. The other one was one of his friends. I didn't have as much of an emotional investment in telling them sorry, but the other 2 I did. And so I call my wife and I'm like, "What do I do? Like, we can't afford 4 full-time employees with our regular schedule the way things are running right now. And I can't tell the kid that quit his job to come work for us. He was just going to run dumpsters for us." I was like, I can't tell him just kidding. If I'm going to keep one, I got to keep the guy that I hired already started working because he already knows how to run the roll-off system. And then I got back to the point, I'm like, he's got a family. I can't tell him no. He quit his job to come work for us. In that moment, I cared less about the money, but I cared more about the people. I cared more about the team that I had committed work to. And so I told the other 2 that hadn't started, "I'm sorry. Everything got canceled. I'll let you know if anything changes." I did not tell the other 2, just kidding. I said, "Hey, here's the update. Things have changed. We no longer have this Walmart gig." I don't even know if I'm allowed to say their name. Is what it is. Anyways, I said, "So, we no longer have this gig, but we're going to keep you guys on and we're going to figure it out." So that was halfway through the day on Friday. We still had 2 more stores left to go service. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little bitter. And they said, "Go ahead and finish up your routes. And then, we'll keep you guys posted and updated." So I said, "No, thanks." They were like, "Huh?" I was like, "No, thanks. Your stores can keep their chicken." We worked our tails off all week long, getting all of your stores in our territories caught up. And we made a big financial investment and we made a lot of changes. And we put other work on the back burner to make sure that this would get taken care of. Our junk removal guys were working their tails off by themselves with no backup. So you can keep your last 2 stores. And I got to get home and figure all of this out. So, bitter, petty, maybe. Probably should have just knocked him out. was 2 stores, 3 stores. I don't remember, maybe 3 stores. So that put us to the beginning of last week. I think the beginning of last week, maybe the week before. And so I worked at the schedule to where everyone's going to be able to work. I don't know how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to be honest, I can float the salaries for a bit, guys. I can float it for a bit. But I need things to take off like crazy. I need to make some marketing changes in our business. I need to pump some more money in. But when you have double the payroll going out, that makes it really scary. But I don't have a choice. I don't want to fail these guys, man. I don't want to fail any of our team. And it sucks to lose the potential of $330,000. But maybe this is God's way of being like, hey, stubborn, you need more employees. Get ready. Business is coming. And this is the way that we got the employees. And I'll be honest with you, the 2 new guys are awesome. They are great. They are hard workers. They amazing attitudes, man. I've always said we've been blessed with the teams that we've had, but these 2 guys fall right in line with that. They're good, and I cannot fail them. This podcast or this video is more of a therapy session for me, I think. I have no notes. I have no outline of what I'm doing or what I'm saying. I'm just kind of shooting from the hip here. So it's raw, it's honest, it's what I said all of our videos would be, and it won't be BS. It won't be me promising you the world, telling you that you can make $1 million or $10,000 with a single trailer working hardly any hours, because we all know that's BS. It's the raw, honest back end. The stress I've had and I've been carrying has been tremendous. It's been overwhelming. So let's update. That was the biggest update last week. I was out of town for majority of the week. I went out to the Waste Expo and to Dumpsters in the Desert. I love networking with my industry. If you're not doing it, I highly recommend it. It is one of the best things you can do. Although this opportunity did not come to fruition, or a portion of it did, a very small percentage of it did, we would have never had that opportunity if we have not networked, if we did not invest in relationships. So if you're not doing that with guys in your market or across the country, I highly recommend it. If you have opportunities to go to events like Dumpsters in the Desert, or Matt and JoJo have a junk expo, I believe, coming up in Northern California. I got my tickets for that. There is the Lone Star Dumpster Showcase in October, I believe, or November, end of the year. Go to that. There'll be another Dumpsters in the Desert next week. Get your butt out there and network and build relationships. After the stress I had, getting out of town was definitely what I needed. Getting to hang out with friends. What's cool about these events, because I've been going to these events for a while now, is you begin to have a friendship with people. You meet them at an event. Let's give you an example. Toby Stubbs, the insurance guru of the junk removal and dumpster rental industry. Okay. I met Toby back at Junk Con in 2021, I think, whenever the Junk Con was. I think 2021. It wasn't 2020. It was 2021. Junk Con 2021 in Raleigh, North Carolina. I met Toby there. JRA brought him in as the insurance guru guy, and I met him there. We had some great conversations. Things didn't work out at that time. We never moved forward with any insurance policy, but great guy. Fast forward to last November or December, I think one of those two, I went to a junk removal mastermind in Florida, and lo and behold, guess who's there? Toby Stubbs. I have an even bigger opportunity to really get to know him and him get to know me. This mastermind was 25 people, nothing like Junk Con, right? But this mastermind, by the way, the best thing I ever did for my business. So fast forward again to this weekend. Guess who's at Waste Expo? Guess who's at Dumpsters in the Desert? Toby Stubbs. We send each other a message because we see we're there. I let him know where we're going for lunch. He meets us for lunch. And I'm hanging out with Julian from Heritage Hauling, Jerry from GNS Junk Removal. There's a few of us just hanging out, having some mariscos for lunch in Vegas. And Toby rolls in and we sit down and we have a great conversation. Here's the thing, there's vendors in your industry that you need to get to know. These are the guys that are going to make or break it for you. These are the guys that are going to open up doors or tell you not to go down certain paths, because it's what they specialize in. We hung out with Toby pretty much all day and all evening. Hung out with him again the next day. And there's nothing like hanging out and building these relationships, regardless of what their business is or what they're selling. You get to know these guys and they share industry knowledge with you that you really won't find in the forums. I mean, you'll find some of it, but you really won't find it the way that you're going to get it sitting around a table having an amazing meal. We shared 2 or 3 amazing meals with Toby. We had the mariscos, and then we went to another restaurant called Javier's for dinner that evening after his wife Sue, which his wife is the sweetest you're ever going to meet. And we just had a great time. Other relationships that we were fostering or continuing to build was going to be Nathan and Guy from Streamline Financial. We met them at the Lone Star Dumpster Showcase. Same thing out there. We got to know them. We went out with them, had shared some meals with them. We saw them here at Waste Expo and the Dumpsters in the Desert. Same thing. It's like you're meeting old friends and you're building these relationships. And Nate and Guy, pay attention, guys. They are financing equipment for our industry. They know our industry. If you go to your bank, you go to the SBA, you go to someone trying to get money. Hey, I need a dump truck. I need a roll-off system. They're sitting there like, what? Right? And these guys know our industry like the back of their hand. They know exactly what's needed for you to succeed. And building the relationships with these guys and fostering these relationships so that they know who you are as a human and you are as a business owner, we're taking business back to the handshake days. Okay. When you made a deal with somebody and you shook their hand and you said, hey, this is the deal. Now, granted, that's not exactly the situation, but you're building these relationships. And even though you may not do business with them, you know who they are. You know what type of character they have. You know the passion that they have for their industry and their business. And you know the people to take to them. I want to say at the Lone Star Dumpster Showcase, I walked over probably 10 to 15 people to both Guy and Nathan and to Toby, because just you network and you talk and oh yeah, man, I'm trying to get financing. I'm trying to go talk to Nathan. Oh, the insurance, go talk to Toby. You help them out, and one day that may come back and it may not. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we have worked on building relationships and friendships with these vendors, and we don't consider them just vendors, right? It's great to hear about their families, meet Sue, find out about Nathan's kid. It's the way I prefer to do business, and I highly recommend you get out to these events in any possible way that you can, because if you can set yourself apart, do it. I had an opportunity to meet with a lot of people and share some of my personal history of my business, the little bit of insight. I do not claim to be a guru by any stretch of the imagination. Just because we have this YouTube channel does not mean I'm going to come out with courses. Do I coach a few people? Yes, absolutely. But it's not something that I advertise. It's a very few amount of people. I do not have the time to do more. And I do it out of, I do it for my reasons. And you'll never see me selling a course. Okay. But it's awesome to get out there and meet with people and to share the knowledge that you have and to share the knowledge that they have. Here's the thing. When I went to JunkCon 2021, everyone around me thought I was crazy. What? That's even a thing? What are you going to go talk about? Trash? Yeah. I mean, people are dumb and they make these dumb comments. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to go do. My motive, and I was successful. The reason why I went to JunkCon was at that time we were doing around $500,000 a year in our business. And I felt like I was helping everyone else around me. Everyone else around me was doing around 100 or less, maybe a little more. And I felt like I was just giving out information, helping, building up, helping them grow their businesses. But I didn't really have anyone that was around where I was at or above where I was at. And I was like, I need to make some friends with people that are doing 750. I need to make some friends with people that are doing a million two, and so on and so forth. So when I went out to Junk Con, I was very specific and I was looking for the people that were serious about being there versus the ones that were just messing around, the ones that cared about the education and knowledge, the ones that were carrying themselves a different way. And I went out there and I made some amazing connections. I found the friends at 750, 8, 9, a million and a half. And over the last year and a half, 2 years, we share information. We work together. We network. We've bonded, and we have this way of working together that I want to see them succeed and they want to see me succeed. So my rant is, I think, over. Long story short, the last few weeks have been crazy between losing an employee, hiring, getting this contract, traveling to Vegas for Waste Expo and Junk Con, getting back, and Mother's Day, and getting everything kind of back into order. Yesterday was Monday, and all my new guys have been trained. Everyone has their jobs and their tasks. And yesterday was the first day I was able to really sit at home again and work and get things caught up. Until I had a last minute online booking for some dirt removal. So I jumped in the truck. I went to the yard, grabbed one of the new guys, and we took the skid and we got it knocked out. But it put us in a position, having the people in place, to be able to bring in that extra income last minute. So anyways, my rant is over. My video is over. If you have commented or reached out like, hey, dude, where's the videos? I apologize. I sincerely do. I don't like to do things halfway. If I'm doing it, I want to do it right. And not posting the last few weeks has definitely bothered me. But we're back. We're back in town. Things are going to get back to normal. I can't guarantee you're going to have a million videos this week, but I think you'll have at least a couple videos this week. And as we move on, things should get better and improve, and the content should be better and improving. So if you've stayed this long, I would love to know what it is that you want to hear. What type of content do you want to see coming from? Again, the perspective is, I'm not in the truck every single day. I am the business owner working on the back end of the business. I am in my office off the truck. And so I would love to know, what are the things that you want to know that would help you? Maybe the things that will help you get off the truck, the ways I got off the truck, the things that I do now to keep my guys fed. Right now I have to get to work. I have to hustle because I have 2 more mouths to feed, or 2 more families to help feed. And I don't take that lightly. So if you've watched, I appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. And we'll catch you in the next one.